What up, world? Back again. It is the Country Rap Report. Yours truly, VicXL. Gotta say salute to my guy, Chief. He's definitely out there handling business. All right, y'all know what you get when you checking out the Country Rap Report. We give you our best in reviews, reactions, our opinions, and some of the best and worst videos in the genre of country rap. We also give you exclusive content, news, and conversation between me and my guy, Chief. And we also give you some of the dopest artist interviews in the genre of country rap, the trendsetters, the movers, the shakers, that are people that are definitely elevating the culture to the next level. All right, now today, ooh, that was bright. Woo. Let me make that not be so bright. So today be no different than any other day on the Country Rap Report show here. I'm gonna have a very dope guest, a guy I've been wanting to talk to for a while. He's actually new to the genre of country rap, but he's definitely moving, shaking, and getting things percolating. So I felt like this would be a perfect time to bring him on to the show and introduce him to those who don't know him and reacquaint him to those who do. And just let him have the opportunity to use the platform to do his talking. Now, a lot of people ask me, Vic, why you ain't been rocking the cowboy hat? So I decided to bring the black cowboy hat out for you guys before we get too deep into it. Y'all make sure y'all do me one big favor. All right, do me one big favor. Number one, hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Number two, subscribe to the channel. Number three, get in the comments area. And let's just chop it up. Let's build a strong community. And number four, sharing is caring. Make sure you share the content with others who you think could be beneficial from the conversation, or even if there's someone trying to get into the genre and will be beneficial from listening, talking, and networking with us, the Country Rap Report as a whole. All right, now make sure you follow us on all social media at Country Rap Report. And again, if you're subscribing to the channel is on Riding Dirty Radio on YouTube. Okay, all right. Ladies and boys and girls, let me bring on our guest right now. I just hit that admit button, and he will be popping up on the screen in a very few seconds. Before we get too deep into it, y'all, please remember to holler at one of our sponsor, Asset Distribution, www.assetdistro.com. Okay, please holler at our sponsor, www.assetdistro.com. If you're a content creator, if you're a rights holder, and you want to cut out the middleman and make sure you're properly compensated for all your music, make sure you holler at Asset Distro and let them know Country Rap Report sent you. All right, ladies and boys and girls, I got my gentleman. I got him on the line. Well, actually, I got him on the screen, not on the line. You know what? My radio days, because I've done the radio for so many years, I'm used to saying, on the line we got, but on the screen we got my guy.
Yeah.
And I'm really upset with this guy, because this guy has let me butcher his name for a while. Because I've been
everybody
calling him Yuccie, like he was Gucci Mane. I've been calling him Yuccie Banks. But ladies and boys and girls, welcome to the Country Rap Report platform, my guy, Mr. Yuccie Banks. What's going on, my guy?
Hey, everything good. You hear me?
I hear you.
All
Can
right,
you hear me well?
Perfect. Yeah, I hear you well. Man, everything good, man. Everybody mess up the name, man. Like, it's all good, man. It's real funny, but I love it, though, because, like, it actually build a relationship with the person once they figure out the name. They like, so what's your name? Everybody always ask me what the name mean. I'd be like, actually, you say my name wrong, but let me tell you how they really said. And then everybody be like, oh, man, I feel so bad. I'd be like, no, don't worry about it. Everybody do it all the time, you know. But I wanted to change my name to Malcolm Banks, but all my regular, followers that I have for content, they don't want me to, change my name. They feel like I built like a brand.
Actually, I think Yuccie is a dope name. Do not change it. It makes you very unique and stand out. The only thing I think, did I say it right that time? Or did I say it wrong?
No, it's Yuccie.
Okay, Yuccie. See?
Yeah.
I think you should spell it with the K. I think that's what those people are.
I need to do that. I need to do it. And it's also a plant named Yuccie too. So I can spell it like the plant.
Is it?
No. It's kind of like a little Oh, it's like an outdoor kind of like, I think it's like a cat. It's not like a cactus or something. It's a plant though. It's like a flower, but it's called Yuccie. And I was like, man, I should spell it like that. It make people, kind of know how to say it in America. Because like I notice every time I meet a British person, they be like, Yuccie, how you doing, Yuccie? I might come in they live and they'll know right away. But down south people, we like, you see, what? What you see me? Like, what is that? So it's funny though. I think it's kind of hilarious. I like I said, I think it actually helped me get people followers, to be honest with you. Like by having the name, like you say, is unique. And then once people really figure out what it means, they be like, oh man, that's really him the whole time.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought you were Gucci Mane's country cousin.
Yuccie, yeah.
Yuccie, I look, and you've been in my streams. I'm like, Yuccie, it's okay. But everyone knows me doing interviews, radio, video for over 20 plus years.
Yeah.
If you look up the Guinness Book of World Records of mispronounced words and mispronounced names, I'm there like this.
Oh, me too. Oh, my wife be about to punch me in the face all the time. I'd be like, that's why I don't feel sorry when people mess up on my name, because I'd be like, hey, if I remember you, I really like you. Because 9 out of 10, I'm not gonna remember how to say your name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna beat 100 other people, and
my wife does. My wife is always saying, "Hey, you remember so and so and so?" I'm like, man, no, stop playing.
Yeah,
you don't remember. I like, listen, man. If you don't tell me the story, we're never gonna get to the story because you're gonna sit here for 2 hours trying to make me remember. I'm good with faces. I'm the worst with names, because I talk a lot and I love meeting people. So I might forget your name. And people get mad at me about that. And I apologize, because it doesn't mean I don't care. It's just I meet so many people in so many different facets of life. Man, I can't remember, man.
it's harder.
I smoke a lot. I smoke a lot. They don't realize I smoke.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've been smoking so long. When I started smoking, they used to be like, man, he on that ish. It wasn't even cool back then.
Now it's cool. Everybody do it now. It's kind of funny now, because I remember it was the devil's lettuce when I was growing up. Like, like basically, if you sitting over here smoking, man, you like the worst person. Like, you a crackhead. Now everybody on meth and Molly, and I'm like, yo, I didn't make it that far. Shit.
I didn't even graduate. They left me behind in weed elementary school. Now they doing everything. Like,
yeah, they doing everything. I'm like, dang. I'm like, man.
All right, so let's get into it, man. I'm finna put you on the spot. I probably should have asked you this. Do you drink?
No, I don't, man. I used to, but you can drink though. I'm cool, like with people drinking around me and stuff.
No.
Like
I'm a drink.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start. I wanted my guests to start taking a shot with me, but
man,
nothing over there, no Gatorade,
I give you a 420, man. I toast to a 420 before this live. That's why I say, hey, give me 15.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Yuccie, to you, sir. We're gonna salute you before we get it going.
Hey, Salome, man. Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Whew. That's for everybody who wants to sponsor and give me a bottle of liquor.
Hey, get this man a sponsor, y'all. We need that new country route alcohol drink.
No doubt. All right, look, man, let's get into it. First and foremost, welcome to the platform.
Yeah. Hey, man, appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me on.
Very, very humble for you to give me any amount of time of your day to introduce you to the people that rock with our platform. So I'm very, very humble for you to even grace me with your presence.
Oh, man, I appreciate you for gracing me. Even to, like, show my face on your platform and meet other, like, this gonna bring other artists. Maybe they can, collab with me, producers, different people just coming in the game, other people that tune in to your show. Now everybody get to figure out who I am, and, and I get to collab with other people and figure out who some other new country artists is too. So I appreciate that.
All right. Where is Yuccie Banks from? Let's take it back. We're going way back to the humble beginning.
I was born in 1987 in Thomasville, Georgia, Cherokee Projects. So I was born in the projects in the country next to a jailhouse. I remember when they built the jailhouse, and it was a railroad track next to the um the um the railroads. And I remember the guy used to drive by on the railroad track and throw out these little juices out the window. Y'all know them little, this is like them little bitty juices. I forgot the name of them. They like these little colorful little juices, you know, that you can peel the top off of them. But he used to throw them out the window and we used to catch them all the time. I remember that as a kid. And then, you know, once I got older, you know, my family started going to different areas, you know, and, you know, my mom moved to North Carolina in like 99. And my other sister went to Atlanta. And you know, and that's how I ended up branching off in Atlanta early when I was like 14, 13. So I ended up living in Atlanta with my sister. And then I ended up going to school in Atlanta. And then, you know, I ended up branching off living on my own up there, getting hard headed because, you know, like I just wanted to be grown and go do my own thing. And, you know, just, you know, end up getting out there in the street selling CDs. Everybody know about the bootlegging season. Yeah, you know, it was definitely bootlegging everywhere in Atlanta back in the early 2000s because there was a lot of mixtapes dropping back then. So I always been into like music, you know, like had the newest DJ Jelly come out or the newest whoever. It don't even matter who it was. It can be a northern mixtape. A lot of people didn't know about DJ Drama. I'd be like, man, this DJ Drama right here. Or somebody didn't know about Quick, or, you know, nobody didn't know about everybody. I was already kind of hooked on everybody music. And a lot of people never used to believe me. I used to always tell them, I used to be like, man, music gonna be everywhere. Like, and now everybody call me now and be like, dude, you was right. Like, I was like, I told you, dude, it's not just gonna be, because when everybody thought it was just Atlanta, they thought that was it. I was like, nah, bro, it's gonna turn into a bunch of small town people. Like, you're gonna start catching people from small little bitty towns start blowing up in places, Mississippi, Alabama, places we didn't even know about. And we're gonna start hearing their music, bro. I was like, because like it showed that everybody in the South can actually put out music and have a fan base on their own too, as well. And then, you know, I'm end up moving to North Carolina. I used to do venues 7 days a week. In Atlanta, I used to have one spot called Scene City, but they don't closed it down. Then I had one spot. Man, I had so many spots, man, like all over, man. But that Scene City was my main spot. But I had different spots. I just don't want to call it out because, you know, it might be a different name. But now, you know how Atlanta is. It's just a different name by two months later after the club owner don't scam something. So and then, you know, that's how I kind of knew a lot of producers, artists, engineers, because I used to do Battleground Monday. I used to promote something called Battleground Monday. Me and this dude named Gambino, we started off, I was like the main promoter for Battleground Monday. So I promote all the artists and stuff like that to get them there and stuff like that. So they kind of draw me more towards the music world because I was more only on the hookah and chilling. You know, that's what I was really on. I was like, and nobody didn't even know what hookahs was because I was the only one hanging out with like, you know, different cultures. You know what I'm saying? Arabic, you might see me with an Arabic guy, might see me with an Ethiopian guy, might see me with a Russian guy, you know? So like I was hanging out with different cultures and everybody like, what is hookah? And then it got popular when Young Thug came out, passed me the hookah, you know, it got popular then.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a little history about, you know, and I ended up moving to North Carolina and married my wife. She took me away from the city. And then I end up back into the more of the country life. You know, I started off in the country, went to the city, and then went right back to the country life. So I really like this country life way better, you know, because, you know, it just where it fits at, because you get in the city, it's like so many different people from different places, and it make you become somebody you really ain't. You know, you'll forget about your roots, you'll forget about your heritage, your morals, all that stuff, man. So yeah.
Let me stop you right there. First of all, I want to say shout out to Timothy Carlton. Okay. Timothy Carlton was my very first college roommate.
Yeah.
Years ago. And he was from Thomasville, Georgia.
Okay.
So
that name sounds so familiar though.
Timmy Timothy, Carlton, wherever you are, I haven't talked to you since then. Matter of fact, you was only my roommate for 2 weeks and you moved out because I indulged too much. But shout out to you because I've never met
Yeah.
anyone else from Thomasville since Timothy Carlton. So wherever you are, sir, if you are still alive, shout out to you because I just had a flashback.
Yeah.
Secondly, when you said Battleground Mondays, was that something that, because I remember 1079 in Atlanta used to do something called Welcome to the Battlegrounds. Was the
Yeah.
event you were doing affiliated with that?
Yeah, it was all affiliated with the radio station and everything.
They had
So
that
like,
song, Welcome to the Battleground. He's
yeah.
up, A-Town down. You know that
Yeah.
song?
And then it had, see, that was the first group that was over. See, those days it was dang, what's his name, man? Because he really put like Flock on. He used to promote this club over in Cobb County. I forgot this dude's name, man. But they was doing it first. But you know, the Dirty Boys was like over it, but it was somebody else.
Right.
I know who you talking about though, but like it was really like a main guy that was really bringing the people in. I forgot his name.
He rapped, but he rapped and was a promoter.
Yeah, I think he rapped in. He was a promoter too at the same time. You
I
know,
can't remember his name either.
I forgot his name, man. I don't want to mess up the UC. That's what we was just talking about. And then, but I remember, see, I can't even remember the Dirty Boy's name and Jay Nix and
E.T. and Jay Nix.
E.T. and Jay Nix, yeah. So I remember them boys, but see, I met them through Gambino. See, he was an intern, and you know, and that's how I like, you know, he ended up putting his little team together. And he ended up getting on the radio. I don't know what happened. He used to be on the radio with them, but you know how the radio world is, you know, it changes and goes in Atlanta, you know. But you know, I end up stopped doing that because I got locked up, man. So I got locked up. I ain't gonna really, you know, somebody stole all my accounts. So I used to like manage accounts and stuff, man. I used to have like 100 accounts.
What kind? You like social media accounts?
Social media accounts, man. I used to be like pumping like all my street team because, you know, I'd be like, yo, you got to get on my street team. You got to give me your account. You know, that's the only way, you know, like if you really, you know, trying to really do this. And there used to be something out named Tweet That back in the days. And you'll tweet one time, it'd be like 300 people at one time. You can like manage it out. And I was that guy. That's what I used to really kind of do, you know, back in the days and stuff like that. And, you know, I did, you know, a little everything, you know, but I just feel like Atlanta, I was kind of all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of all over the place. I never like stayed doing one thing. If I stayed like doing one thing, I feel like I'll probably be owning a couple clubs by now, but I don't really think, you know, that's the life I really wanted, you know, too, at the same time. Cause I used to always be like, man, I want to go fishing. Man, I want to go hunting. Because I remember those days when I was young and I used to be doing all that stuff. You know, getting in the city, you know, you ain't really about to be doing all that because all these kids, you know, they all about going out to shoot. You know, in Atlanta, we had teenage parties at 14. We're going to pay a no ID $1 party. So you're going to be in there. Yeah, you know, so like, you know, that's one reason I tried to tell somebody in my last interview things are easy for me because Georgia is just an entertainment world, period. It's like we got a lot of things that you get introduced to a lot of things at a kid in Georgia when I was growing up that other people wasn't really doing. And that's what I really looked on to. Even up north, people wasn't doing it because when they came down, they was like, man, y'all lit down here, like litty. They used to say whatever, litty. Mm-hmm. I guess that's how the word lit got down there, Atlanta.
Yeah. Litty.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move up. We're gonna inch up. You know, you're from the South, you inching. We're gonna inch up a little bit. You mentioned your wife and you mentioned getting locked up. So how did you get locked up, get out, meet your wife? How did that transpire? And let's move forward into your transformation from Atlanta to becoming a husband, becoming a farmer. Let's bring them on up to speed. Let's inch on up a little bit.
So basically, I you know,
what you got locked up for?
Oh man, I got locked up for burglary, man. So I used to be loving it. Like I was a hard headed back in that days. Like if everybody know Atlanta, back in the days, the young generation, we used to like to break in people's houses, breaking people's cars. Like that's all you heard on the news, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And we used to do it for like really no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like I can be the one that to admit that, to be like, hey man, a lot of us did it for no reason, man. We was up to no good. We were just bored. You know what I'm saying? Cause I think that's when they start closing the no ID clubs down. You know what I'm saying? I noticed like all the crime rate went up too as well once they start closing these no ID events, and then they also stopped some of the festivals that used to be at the Georgia Dome too. Like they just stopped doing a whole lot of stuff for the kids. So I feel like, a lot of crime had went up in Atlanta, and then it was a recession. See, I was one of those little recession kids. They weren't hiring nobody in America at 16 and 17. They didn't really want to give us no jobs around that time. So everybody had to go out and just do some crazy crime. So we was out there. I was out there just doing stupid stuff, man. I regret it big time. Don't get me wrong, because like somebody just stole something from me this week, but I just know how I feel to be like I told my daughter, I said, hey, this is why I tell you never take for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because like I done it before, and I know how that person should, how you really feel when something get taken from you and stuff like that. So, I feel like I learned from it. And the reason why I was doing it, guys, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, just because I was dumb, y'all, like just trying to keep up with friends, you know what I'm saying? People that ain't your friend. You trying to prove that you hard for some people that don't love you. You get caught up into this world that really don't mean nothing. These people, they ain't got no type of love in their heart. So that's what I went to jail for. I was locked up in Wright Street. I don't serve time up in Wright Street. Plenty of times, and 4 or 5 times up in Wright Street. 120 days, 180 days. 6 months. I don't lay down on and off. Really, that's one reason I couldn't never get up, because like my whole younger life, I was always violating probation. So I couldn't never make it on the club scene because like I had all this following, but I couldn't never ever keep it going. All the club owners be like, dang, man, he'll be locked up, man. We never go see him. So it was a waste of time. It was a waste of money. My cousins, a lot of people that used to back me up back in the days, they was like, just quit messing with me. And then, I had to move to North Carolina and start farming. My wife, she went to Clemson for agriculture. And then, she also had a maid service out here too as well. So I started doing more like the landscaping parts and stuff, doing out the door stuff work. And then I was like, man, you know what, man, I'm gonna start farming. I'm gonna make a plant nursery, because like I gotta go buy all these plants. I could start growing them myself up under lights and in greenhouses and stuff like that. And I could just take them out and start charging them for the landscape work and the plants and stuff like that. So that's when I like really started taking it serious. But I really started getting serious like 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna quit cleaning people gutters, windows. About 3 years ago, about 3-4 years ago, I was like, I'm gonna quit cleaning people windows and stuff. I was doing everything to get money. You know what I'm saying? And but I prayed for my wife, man. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I prayed for my wife, man. And I thought it was crazy, like God really showed me the same person, though. That's all I got to say. It was, man, it's crazy.
So hold on, because I like this. This is what I like about these interviews. I don't like just sticking to the music. I want people to know when they finish, they gonna know Yuccie.
Yeah.
Now you say you prayed for your wife.
Yeah.
Did you know her prior? Like, how did you meet her? Okay.
Let me tell y'all how I meet her.
How did this guy who's running around the ATL doing club promotions, blowing on the hookah, meet a Clemson graduate of agriculture?
All right, so this is how I meet her, right? So I'm a party promoter. She hit me up and was like, yo, where the party at? And I was like, shoot, I got like 2-3 little spots this weekend we can hit. You know what I'm saying? And then she ended up coming out. And I was like, that's what's up. But me being me, a promoter, I'm like, this just a regular girl, whatever. But all my homies, them was like, hey, you gotta tighten up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere I went, I took her. Everywhere I took her, everybody was like, this is the one right here. And I was like, man, dang, this must be a sign, because like everywhere I took her at, these guys didn't try to holler at her. They didn't try to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, wherever we was hanging, you know, they showed her respect, you know, and they showed me and her respect together as like a couple. They didn't treat her like, oh, that's just Banks, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so that right there really had changed the thing, you know. And then, you know, we end up getting married 3 months later after we met each other. And we've
3
been married.
months?
Yeah, we've been being married going on 10 years.
Hold on, Banks. Hold on, Banks. 90 days later, you were married.
Yeah, I was married. Yeah. I was
How'd
married.
you propose?
Oh man, the first time I proposed was really 3 days. The 3 days after I met her, the courthouse was closed because it was like Memorial Weekend, and I was like, she's like, the courthouse closed, and I think she thought I was playing. I was like, man,
did you just say 3 days after I met her?
Yeah, 3 days after I met her, I was like, man, I think I can marry her, you know. And everybody
3
thought
days, Banks.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy because I don't met so many women, you know, and I was like, yo, this one girl right here, like, boom, you know, like, I guess because the world that I was in, you know what I'm saying? Like, she kind of, I can say my wife, like, I never even started going to the dentist until I met my wife. I'm just being real. It was like she just introduced me to things that, you know, I wouldn't on, you know. I'm just being real. Like,
you know how when you go to the church and the preacher say something correct and somebody just throw their hand up? Look, I went to the dentist as a child, and then I became a teenager and dated all these women. Never went to the dentist or doctor.
Yeah.
And then when I met my wife, it's like she reprogrammed me back to that path my mother had me on. Yeah. Bro, let me tell you something. Damn, all the women that I dated, y'all helpers were trying to let me die. Cause y'all didn't tell me to go check for high blood pressure, diabetes.
You feel me?
Gout. Y'all just wanted to smoke weed and that's all y'all wanted to do. That's why y'all ain't married now. Y'all just want to run smoke weed, get hit, and you gonna let me die. Forget all you women who did not care about my mental health, my health. Forget y'all. I'm sorry, Banks.
Real.
I have those moments. Man. I apologize.
Hey, I tell my wife that all the time, and I think she think that I'm nuts. She think I'm full of it, basically. Because I was like, they didn't care about me. They didn't. It's the most simplest thing you done did for me. To be like, dang, I really needed to go get a back massage. I really did. Like,
I wish I could show you my toes. My toes are done right now. Me and my wife go get the petties.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. This is things you're gonna open up to, man. And when you meet that girl that's gonna open up a lot of doors to you, your brain start expanding. You start becoming a new person. You're gonna start seeing all your friends that you used to mess with, like, man, they'll start feeling like a bad taste in your mouth. You know, like when you wake up in the morning and your teeth ain't brushed and stuff, it's just a bad taste. That's how people just gonna be you when you start seeing the people that you was around. You're gonna be like, man, they ain't got no morals, man. Like that woman over there, like no disrespect, we ain't even talking down on women. Like, some of y'all ain't married because you ain't doing the most simplest thing in the world. But I know you can be like, hey, I pay my own bills and all this and all that, but you ain't doing the most simplest thing in the world. It's like maybe planning him a dentist appointment or a car practice, or, you know, things that the man ain't really gonna do. You know, getting his socks and drawers, that kind of get old. You got to start thinking, you know, like going to get your feet done, like Vic say, you know, the new little things. You know.
Hey, no doubt, bro. I lie to you not. God bless my wife, and I was married before, and shoot, man, I ain't gonna lie. Women used to just let me run around wild. I'm like, God,
yeah.
Look,
yeah.
I used to get caught cheating, and then they would stay.
Yeah,
they would stay. I'm
Yeah.
literally scared to lose my wife now. I'm like, you can't take my oxygen.
That's how I feel.
Look, bro, she has brought so many little quality things in my life.
Yeah.
The stuff that I thought was important is so minute. It's those small things that make me want to. I tell my wife all the time, she's the battery in my back. So, man, I'm saying that to say salute to all the good women out there who still understand the art of being a wife. There are too many women now who don't even care about being a wife, who weren't even taught that this is the next level to life.
Exactly.
Independent is dope, but imagine being independent with the king.
Exactly. You want that guy to do everything for you. Just do the most simplest thing. You'll catch him doing, and you'll feel like Vic say, we'll feel like breath air taken away if it ain't doing to please you. Like, for real.
Okay, so how did you meet your wife and go from doing, let's just say, odd job to make ends meet to creating a career?
Okay, so basically, me and her really sat down when the coronavirus really happened. I was like, man, I'm gonna just really go hard in on this farming. I was like, it's
Did
a
you have
bunch
a
of
farm?
doors. Like, we did, but we didn't do it at like a bigger scale that like what we doing now. We was just growing little gardens. You know what I'm saying? That's all we was going. And now we 5 to 10 acres in now, like 3 years after like that, you know what I'm saying, to start working and try to like get a production going, try to get a system set up, because we was dabbing in it. I used to, like, my homeboy Jim, he was a Native American guy, but he was a mixed breed Native American, but had a real Native ID. Like, you get a check from the tribe, every 6 months, like a per cat check. So that's what he get. But he used to let me farm his land. So that's how I kind of started off. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I kind of learned the word bubble wasn't really like a racist word, because I grew up in society, like, when a white man called you bubble, it's like racist. I used to be like when I first met him, like, hey man, I was about to punch him. Then I was like, oh dang, he called everybody bubble. Like, dang, like, that's just a slang, just like them calling a shouty or cuz or bruh. It just, I was like, dang, movies made us think bubble is like looking down on black people or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. That's just a slang, and everybody just call each other bubble. I was like, okay, cool. So, but he ended up dying and stuff, so that's what made me kind of move forward, because like I was like, dang, I can't use gym land no more. I can't do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I really got to kind of grow up, because he was really kind of like that, father figure, showing me like how to work land and how to bust up wood. Like, it was like he was training me the whole time. And he ended up dying at 40 years old from a heart attack. It's crazy. But Native Americans have bad hearts and stuff like that.
Okay.
So like, it's weird. They all die at a certain, they don't really live long. I think because they like start mixing up with other breeds of people and stuff like that. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the area.
When you went into this, bro, because you've really intrigued me, because 2 summers ago, actually it was pre-corona too, and this is just the influence of my wife. I was like, man, I'm gonna try to plant me something. Now I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about farming or land like that. I have land, I didn't know anything about it. So I got some of these things. They're like flower pots, but they're really, really long. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna plant me some jalapenos in that and some tomatoes and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what the hell I'm doing. And they end up getting eaten by the bugs. I'll be honest. I did end up getting some jalapenos out of it, but I didn't really know what to do with tomatoes. How, bro, that's just to have the knowledge. Like, who even trained you even know what the hell you were doing? Because
even my wife will tell you
it don't work like that.
Yeah, even my wife will tell you, like, even when I started in 2014, she'll tell you, like, man, even my dad, everybody will tell you, they be like, man, everything he doing, no, none of us didn't teach him. Like he just picked up, like I'm just like I got like a drive, you know what I'm saying? My uncle will tell you too. That's one reason when we're gonna get to that too, is about the rap, like later on. But the drive is like where is all at? Like I believe like when I start something, I need to finish it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to study everything. I want to know all about it, because I know the good and the bad gonna happen, but I want to know what's the long term. Like I'm like a long term thinker. I'll be like, well, okay, 10 years it can be like this, but I'm gonna screw up on this and not make this much for this certain amount of years. But are you able to take this hit? Are you able to live this type of lifestyle like this? I have to ask myself all these questions and stuff like that. So it really is a determined thing. But I feel like, me getting in there early, before I really got into it, really helped me out. Like I say, with dude having the let me garden his stuff, like tilling up his ground, and also using Christmas trees. Like my wife, she used to sell Christmas trees and stuff like that. So that's how we really got the money. Like I used to go sell a lot of Christmas trees and stuff because her brother grew Christmas trees. So I go sell all the Christmas trees and cut all the green down, and we'll make Christmas wreaths, and we'll sell a whole bunch of Christmas wreaths to booster clubs and stuff like that. And but we'll probably be back in the like Christmas trees in like 7 years because it take like a foot to grow. So I'm praying for, like, this is this whole interview about it. I'm like praying to, like, I ain't saying I gotta blow on music, but like start making a little decent income. I can start taking some of that money and put it back into music and land, and at least buy like a couple 1,500 trees or something. You know what I'm saying? Something, just a little extra money, just to be like, well, look, I got a little $800 check right here, or $1,500 check, just off a little music stream. We can probably use this towards some gas or something like that. So, or putting towards land if we hit, you know what I'm saying? So I want to actually a bigger Christmas tree farm. That's my goal, for us to have like 200 acres, have probably about 20 acres of cows, like Christmas trees, a whole bunch of apple, different orchards type of stuff. Like I wanted to look like a fantasy world, man, with ponds, everything, man.
So do you actually live on a farm right now?
No, like actually I have to drive to the farm because like that's why I was just telling you, I was like, man, this year, like we want to move to because like here it's hilly, like it's real hilly. So it's hard to actually find flat space. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody farm is like either far away or it's not far away. It's no more 8 miles away from me. You know what I'm saying? But I want to make it that I can walk out onto the farm, you know what I'm saying, and have everything out there. This landscape where we live at, it ain't set up for it because we on like the north side of the bank, and it's just no but hill, it's just all down here. And this is all we could afford at the time, to be honest with y'all, because we was young, we was, in our 20s, you know what I'm saying? And we was like, let's buy a house, and we jumped in this house. And now that this house is up though, in the market because we bought early, so we bought at the right time. But we think it's time to move on, so we fixing up a little bit, a little everything, and we're ending up like moving on and trying to move on a piece of property that we can do everything that we want to do. Because I don't want to go nowhere for nothing. You feel me? Like even if I might throw a live concert, I might, hey Vic, come out here. We about to have a DJ set up. You know what I'm saying? Country Rap Report concert right here. Everything on the property. I have my own entertainment every month. Like I get to that point, like straight up, have wedding venues out there, everything.
So when did you create Yellow Mountain Gardens, and what is Yellow Mountain Gardens?
In 2014. So we used to live off of Yellow Mountain Garden. My wife is actually from Yellow Mountain Garden. Her family was been there for like 200 and some years. So they've been in the back of these mountains for like 200 years. And Yellow Mountain, where we started off, I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna just name it Yellow Mountain Garden. I was like, that's what we're gonna name this our whole little operation. And then we took off and just used it from there.
Um, so obviously your kids have grew up on the farming culture.
Yeah, they thought everybody had a farm. When we go to Atlanta, go visit my other family, they like, where they farm at?
So, what does your farm right now today? What does your farm consist of? Because I know you do the planning, I know you do the cattling. What does your farm? Not to put too much in out your business out there, someone about it on your farm stealing nothing. But what like today? Because you does your farm consist of?
Well, right now, we just got animals on there right now because we got like spring, um, so we a little mix. We got a little cattle, and then we'll rotate um the cattle once we kill them. So we raise something what you call steers.
Oh,
So basically, steers is what you raise for meat, and they just really just the boy cattle that you don't want, So you fix them and stuff like that, and you just pack them, feed them real big, and we sell them to families. So we'll have a family to buy a share. So we got something called shares. So people might buy a half a cow, whole cow, quarter cow, and we'll raise it for them, sell it for them, and then we about to get ready to switch them out because spring coming up, all that poop that they don't put in, we're gonna till it all up, and then we'll put a whole bunch of lettuce and tomatoes and onions and stuff out there, and then we'll harvest that. I'm just doing some simple stuff, and maybe I'm gonna do a lot of watermelons, and because I'm gonna be on the road this summer, doing the whole country route stuff, so I got to do something that I can turn my back on while I'm gone. So it would be like watermelons this year. So watermelons will probably be the main crop this summer.
okay, all right. Your friends from the past. How many of your friends from the past know that Yuccie is now a farmer?
Oh, all of them, man. Everybody always say I was always different though. They was like, man, I just knew that like you'll find something because you ain't never been like the same. You never been like the same as us. Like you'll always think of something, and we'll be like, dang, like how he think of that? Like what made him want to do that? Like I always been that person. But have any of them want to come out and try it? No.
Hey, nobody's trying to be no farmer.
No, nobody.
All right, so man, let's move into the music. How did this guy from Thomasville, Georgia, move to the ATL, get into club promotion, get blessed with an angel, transcend from club promotion to farming, decide to pick up the mic and get into the entertainment business?
So, all right, I got set up. This is the true story, guys. So, all right, I got a little cousin named Ote Funsway. And he used to be named DJ when he was a little kid, man, like in Atlanta. So basically, I was gonna be writing some hooks for him. And I was like, oh man, I can do that. I can write Sway some hooks, man. Let me do him some little hooks. Maybe I can make a little check on the side, writing a little music for him. And then they was like, okay, well, I wrote the little hook, and they like, oh yeah, you need to record this, for he to know how to say it and stuff like that. And then that's how it really kind of took off, man. Just like really trying to write my little cousin some hooks. And then I went in and recorded some songs. My homeboy is one of the guys. I don't know if you ever heard of I don't know, man. Boom, man. You done been called so many names, but I
LA
got
the
a
Boom
homeboy.
Man. Boom Man,
Yeah,
boom.
yeah. I got my homeboy named Bone, booking with Bone. That's like my homeboy. He worked with Boom, man. He followed him. They always together.
Okay.
And he was like, man, you need to use our studio. Come to our studio. And then I went in their studio and used their studio. And it was kind of on from there. You know what I'm saying? Like I used I think I forgot their new name, Authentic or Nothing or something like that.
Authentic Entertainment.
Entertainment. Yeah, I used their studio because my homeboy, he like one of the A&Rs or whatever guy over there. He was like, man, yeah, you need to record this, man. Trust me. He was like, man, you need to record it. I went over there, recorded it. And then, I didn't really like the engineer. And then I was like, man, I need to find somebody I'm comfortable with. And that's how I end up meeting Major. And Major work over at Rocco Studio. He engineered for a lot of them, make beats for a lot of them. And but Major, I think he not consistent enough. You know what I'm saying? So like, me and him don't bump some heads because like when I'm ready to do business, man, I be ready to lock in. like you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, don't be like wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta lock in. Like I want all these tracks mixed specifically a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to record a certain. I don't want to have my songs all over the place. I don't watch all my homeboys have their songs all over the place. I'd be like, ugh, man, that sounds crazy. Like they might bring me a mix from somebody else. A mix, we go to the studio, then they got some mix somebody else. They got like 50 songs sound all different. And I always like sat back and been like, man, you know what, man? I just let one person record my song. I don't know why they let everybody record their music. You know, like I always wondered that, you know. And that's how I end up getting recorded and stuff. And then I made the song called Cowboy Baby. My uncle was like, yo, you need to make this song. They kind of tricked me though. He was like, you need to make this song about an intro of your show, man. Because I was about to put out a podcast or like my little bit of reality, you know, vlogging. And it was like, yeah, you need to do a little rap song, you know. And I was like, man, I don't want to do that, man. Leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. Like, no, do it. And then I ended up doing it. Did a little Cowboy Baby, and then I don't know, man. I was like, man, you know what? You know, people actually like, man, wow, I can't believe it's you. And then I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna just make some music. Now, and then I say one of my homeboys hit me up. His name DeMarcus Webb. He used to go by the original 6ix9ine. He's a writer. He actually used to be signed to Def Jam and Heavy D. He was like, I grew up with him. He was my friend. And he was like, man, you know, it's a whole genre for that junk. I was like, what? I was like, it's a genre for country rap music? I was like, yeah. And he was like, man, I got a bunch of those songs recorded already. He was like, man, Nashville